Picasso tried to tell you, Picasso tried to warn you, Picasso tried to elevate your life. He tried to explain how to live the best life possible, how to achieve utmost freedom as a human being. Here's what he said. He said, all children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as you grow up. Now, what is he saying there? What is he trying to tell you? What is he trying to teach you? Well, he is saying that children are creating freely. What he is really saying is that children do whatever they want at all times. What he is really saying is that children are walking YouTube channels. What he is really saying is that you are here, you exist because your mother and father have created you. What he is really saying is that creation is the elixir of life itself. The only thing that will give you the same freedom that children have is creation itself. That's what he's saying. And why do children have the freedom that we long for, that we want to have ourselves? Because they don't have monetary constraints. We are working a job. We are spending 1/3 of our lives working a job that we hate. And then we spend 1/10 of our lives traveling to and from that job that we hate. And then we spend 1/3 of our lives sleeping to recover from the job that we hate. And then we spend another 1/3. The math doesn't work out. I get it. 1/3, whatever. 1/3 of our lives pretending to our friends that we are actually having a great time and that we love our job. How are we going to do that? How are we going to pretend to all of our friends and the people that know us that we actually love our jobs? How? Well, we are going to take all of the money that we make and spend it on vacations. We are going to spend it on stuff, on clothes, on vacations, on cars, on whatever we need to pretend that we actually don't fucking hate our job. This is the grown-up life. This is the grown-up battle, the grown-up struggle. Children don't have this. Children are walking YouTube channels, having a great time, having the best time of their lives because they don't have this. They don't have this struggle. So why are we wasting our time working that crappy job? Because we don't have a choice. And the reason we don't have a choice is because we don't have the freedom to choose. And the reason we don't have the freedom to choose is because we don't have the monetary funding to be able to get that freedom to choose. Now, I want to show you something. A little over 10 years ago, I made a painting method where I painted with lightning from the sky. Vice magazine called me Zeus because I was literally throwing lightning, 50,000 volts of static electricity on top of the painting. This was gorgeous. This was amazing. I loved this painting method. And when did I develop this painting method? When there was no monetary constraint. I was not thinking about money. And so because I was not thinking about money, I had months of time available to do whatever I wanted to do. And with those months available, I made what I thought were the best pieces I could make at that time. Here's the thing. If you are a human being, and you are constrained to weeks, the only time you can take off is a maximum of a couple of weeks, then you will never do something great with your life because in weeks you cannot do something great. Every human being inherently know that weeks is just simply not good enough. Weeks is not good enough to make a masterpiece. Weeks is not good enough to actually break free like children have. Children have months, they have years. Children feel that freedom because they have that freedom, they have years. We as grown-ups, we have a week or two where we can take off. Best. How are you going to develop a painting medium if you only get a couple of weeks? How are you going to develop or figure out how to paint with lightning from the sky if you only have a couple of weeks? How are you going to write an entire novel if you only have a couple of weeks? How are you going to do something that's truly great if you only have a couple of weeks max? Now, before we go on, we have to give a little bit more of an accurate representation of what history has to say about art, History might analyze the quote from Picasso slightly different than you, Dries. Perhaps art history doesn't agree with you. Well, let's take a look at Clément Greenberg. The avant-garde culture is the imitation of imitating. The fact itself calls for neither approval nor disapproval. Is it blah, 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 bullshit? Clément Greenberg is full of bullshit. Why? Let me tell you some secrets of these art historians. Gatekeeping Greenberg. Nepotism Greenberg. These people are completely full of feces. Why? Because they have never made a single artwork in their lives. Gatekeeping Greenberg is a pawn. Gatekeeping Greenberg is not in full understanding of what art actually means. Gatekeeping Greenberg cannot interpret what Picasso said, because gatekeeping Greenberg doesn't know what it's like to be Picasso. He doesn't know what it's like to be an artist. He doesn't know what it's like to make art. He doesn't know what it's like to do something, spend months of your lives on a single piece of art and not selling it. I mean, all artists go through this process where they spend their entire lives, some years, months, decades sometimes, pursuing a dream, pursuing beauty, pursuing something because of the sake of doing it itself. They don't care about being paid by the magazine for their article. They don't care. And so blame on Greenberg or gatekeeping. It's not gatekeeping Greenberg, Dries. Why are you saying this? It's blame on Greenberg. Gatekeeping Greenberg. Okay. This guy is full of shit. All of these art historians are full of shit. All of these university professors have no clue what they're talking about because they don't know what it's like. They've never sold art. They've never made art. They've never run a gallery. They've never done anything that has anything to do with art whatsoever. They know that if they, with their bullshit theories, would step into the marketplace, that nobody would buy their books, nobody would read their stuff, nobody would actually consume, they would not be able to make money. The only way that they are able to make money is because they are protected by their university tenureships. And so they have to believe in this crap. But we know it's not about it. We know it's about freedom. We know that Picasso was talking about freedom, that he was talking about children being free and being able to create out of that freedom, and that we as grown-ups, if we want to be artists, if we want to create something, that we have to create or put ourselves in a similar position where we can gain that type of freedom. We intuitively know that. And this is what I hate so much about traditional art history. It's all gatekept. It's all protected by universities. It's all protected by the printing press. Anyone who controlled the printing press controlled what was being said. All of the writers, the George Orwells of the world who created 1984, they all were banned. All of the great writers, all of the great authors in the past were banned. Socrates was banned. He was cancelled. George Orwell cancelled by the West because it was too much of a communist book, and then by the communists because it was too much anti-communist. Egon Schiele banned because his artwork was a little bit too much nude. And here's the thing. This was a world where people wanted to explain us things. George Orwell wanted to explain us this type of control, this type of 1984 the big brother is watching you and controlling you. They tried to warn us for all of this. And they couldn't, because the media houses were under control. The magazines were under control. The universities were under control. The books were under control. And now, for a very brief moment in time, we have a moment where that falls away. We have a moment where you can go on social media, where you can go on YouTube, where you can share your voice yourself. A voice as an artist, and this is what we need. We need people, regular people, not some gatekeeping Greenberg. No, regular people who actually understand what it's like to make art, who actually understand what it's like to feel trapped, who actually understand what it's like to not like their job. We need those people to stand up. This type of freedom is unseen. The ability, this is what I'm talking about, the ability to feel like the child, the ability to become free, the ability to create whatever you want to create in your mind has never existed the same way it exists today. Today we have, for example, channels or platforms like YouTube, or platforms like Rumble, or platforms like, I don't know, Instagram, whatever you want to choose. These platforms allow us to create in a free manner that was previously not possible. You simply couldn't do that. This opportunity will last. How long? 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, and then the window will close. because AI is coming and AI will saturate the entire marketplace. And your voice, whatever that voice is, your opportunity to feel like a child, your opportunity to follow the guidelines of Picasso, that window will close. That window will close when AI saturates, floods the marketplace with all sorts of random videos generated by some artificial whatever intelligence. And what does it mean? It means that you have a very small window as an artist, as a regular person, to create and share your voice, to create and share your opinion. Why YouTube specifically? Why not drawing in the sand? Isn't that a form of creation, Dries? Aren't we able to create and share our message whatever way we want to do? Can we not just write graffiti on the wall or some stuff? I mean, people have been doing this all of the time. Well, here's the thing. As explained, we are not free. We are not free like children. That is why we can't create it. So this type of freedom, or the limits of our freedom, come from two places. One, the cancellation policies that were in place for thousands of years. Socrates was cancelled, just like people today are being cancelled here and there, like still going on to some extent. And so that's one area. George Orwell being cancelled, his books being banned. It's one area. The other area which we explained in the beginning of this video is money. People don't have the money to be free. So they have monetary constraints and then overlord constraints. And on YouTube, you have a very small window of time where this is solved. Because on YouTube, when you talk, you have a particular amount of minimum subscribers. I think it's 1,000 subscribers or 500 or whatever. You will make money in AdSense for free. So as you are creating, you are actually gaining money and solving the monetary constraints that you might have. And so YouTube is the only place where you are solving two birds in one hand, monetary constraints. You are getting money while you are recording, while you are speaking your truth into the world. And you're also speaking your truth into the world, feeling like a child. This is how you feel like a child again. Simple. Now, if you want to go one step further, and this is not something that I would recommend a beginner necessarily, if you want to go one step further and you want to copy-paste my recipe for YouTube creation, copy-paste my recipe for content creation, I have that available. I have everything recorded, all of the steps, everything that I do, from research all the way to creation itself. Everything is recorded, step by step, and I've made it available in the artist formula. If you're interested, check it out. Links in the description. Now, we talked about YouTube specifically to gain that freedom. I've elaborated more on why YouTube is actually the best thing, more than any other platform out there, in a video called Why You Should Be a YouTuber, Artist or Creative. That said, get the hell out of here.